20 years ago, I would have been a bubble boy. I have an immune deficiency, which means that my body only makes 10% of the white blood cells that every other human does.
Conor's birth was complicated. He had lots of skin rashes and ear infections and pneumonias, and we were...
Was in the incubator for a couple weeks.
Nobody had any answers, I guess. And every next visit I was expecting an answer, and they couldn't provide that.
I had a lot of trips to the hospital, visiting different doctors and different clinics, also different medicine. I have to watch my environment and the chemicals I'm around, or if it's a really germy, dirty area, then I gotta be much more careful, which is part of the reason why my dad started this company.
Actually, the whole idea for the product came from Jen. She was one that thought of asking my mom if she had a solution.
I think we were actually driving up to visit your mom and dad, and we were talking about Conor and his health and what we could do, and somebody should invent something, and just sort of snowballed from there.
Every essential oil has some degree of antiviral and antifungal, antibacterial qualities.
When we were addressed with the problem of all disinfectants being considered poisonous, we just intuitively knew that it didn't have to be that way.
So I started looking what were really good quality carrier oils and essential oils that did certain things. And so I made the best thing I could because it was just for us.
So we took the product to a lab just to make sure that it did what it was supposed to do. And were surprised when the lab said that they had never heard of a product like this before. So they encouraged us to keep going with it. So 3 years later, we had the first government registration for a botanical disinfectant in the world. And also, they didn't require us to have any human health warnings or environmental warnings on the label, which was also a first. So this was a revolution of the disinfectant industry. And today, we have dozens of such government registrations. And our technology is even licensed by major multinational companies who use it to replace their old school synthetic formulas. So for 15 years, we've been testing different formulas. I think we've tested over 300 different formulas, trying to constantly improve the product within our formulating parameters. We insist on using and formulate only with whole essential oils because we believe that that has worked for thousands of years, whereas with synthetic chemicals, often introduced because they're cheaper or more available, that you get a buildup of resistance from the organisms because the organisms that aren't killed are the ones that go on to repopulate, and so they have an innate resistance to a synthetic chemical that is chemically identical every single time it's presented to them. A lot of people are interested in how something that can kill as well as any disinfectant on the market does not have the traditional health risks that disinfectants typically have had. And the best analogy that we come up with is our own antibodies. In our bodies, we produce and store antibodies which are deadly killers against invading germs, yet they don't harm us. And in the plant kingdom, plants do that through essential oils. And so what we have done is stabilized and accelerated that natural process so that we can have consistent germ-killing results.
Last year we took a trip after one of the big storms to see all the damage and what the product does. We helped the restoration contractors by moving a lot of the furniture.
It was pretty cool because we got to hammer out cabinets, but then once you really thought about it, it was really sad because the people who used to live there, they can't even go into that neighborhood because it's all just
completely destroyed.
Yeah.
It was really interesting to see how the product that was developed to protect me has grown so much into helping other people move back into their houses after big storms.
It is our goal to bring the safest products on the market with the best efficacy our best cleaning performance or best killing performance. We've always been formulated with essential oils, but we were doing it before green was cool. Our focus is always on products that work, but are the safest products possible. Authentically botanical disinfectants and cleaners have all of the benefit of traditional high-performing cleaners and disinfectants, yet they don't have any of the baggage or any of the risk or toxicity or environmental contamination that was associated with products that were traditionally used. So that risk-benefit analysis is much easier to make, and it's a very clear answer that someone can come to of why would you choose anything else. At the age of 15, he's been through a lot more than most people go through in their entire lifetime.
He's taught me how to look at things from a different perspective and how to be tough and make the best of your situation.